Hey guys, how is it going? I hope you guys are doing really well. So my name is Layla Khan and this is the first YouTube live stream that I have done or that I'm doing. I'm really excited actually. It has been a while since I've done any live videos. I'm just up on my phone as well, just making sure that it's all working all good. Okay, if you are here live, drop a comment, say hi, let me know that you are here. And just whilst I adjust all of this, so this is like the lighting on this is very, very different to when I'm on Facebook, even though it's in the usual place. So yeah, drop a comment, let me know where you are in the world, say hi, and subscribe as well if you haven't subscribed as yet to my channel. I'm going to be jumping on here quite a bit in the coming future because I want to use this platform for what it is, and that is, in my opinion, it's for conversations. Of course, it's for learning as well and all of that good stuff, but there's something really cool about YouTube. I've done loads and loads of live streams for those of you who are new, loads and loads of live streams over on my Facebook pages and my groups and stuff like that. That's where I've been hanging out for most of the past few years, but we're changing things up, jazzing them up, keeping them, spiced up and all of that good stuff. So I am here on YouTube. I wanted to do, sorry, I'm checking like the YouTube on my phone just to make sure that it is all good. Let me just see, I know what to do. If I go into my channel, and then we should be able to see it there, which I can, which is awesome. So I'm excited. Okay, we are going to be talking about my Reconnect masterclass. So I'm going to be taking you through this new masterclass that I have been wanting to talk about since earlier this week. So there's been a lot going on in my world and loads of amazing things. And at the same time, challenging things as well, in particular, like last year and a few bits and pieces here and there this year. But when I was reflecting and looking back on some of the things that have happened and the lessons that I can extricate and teach back as a role model, it was really fascinating how often the word connect kept coming through and how much I was starting to use the word connect as well, just to to share the lessons and the wisdom, right, through connection. And the shifts and the changes that I've made over the past 18 months in particular have been because of reconnecting. So I wanted to share some really powerful content with you. For those of you who are ambitious and creative, for the soulpreneurs, for those of you who are driven, for those of you who might have lost your way a little bit as well. Some of you may be students, some of you may be teachers, mentors, coaches, entrepreneurs. I work with a whole kind of a whole variety, you could say, of people. They come and find me, and we connect, and we do the soul work, we do the inner work together. So yeah, I wanted to share with you guys how to get into alignment with the life and the experiences that you want to create. And we do that by diving straight in to what it looks like to connect. So let me do a bit of an intro with you guys. So for those of you who are new to my world, and also for those of you that haven't seen me for a while, because, we've been hanging out elsewhere. So I'm a personal transformation mentor, an author, and a speaker. And I help ambitious and creative soulpreneurs, students, mentors, teachers, entrepreneurs, women to basically turn shit into gold. And we do that by shifting identity so that you see yourself as a really creative powerhouse, right? Or a creative powerhouse. And when I talk about being a creative, what I mean is being a co-creator, being somebody who is in charge of their destiny and wants to connect much deeper to his or her inner powers and their personal power, which I'm going to be talking about a lot today, to manifest all that she desires. So There are loads and loads of different parts to this, loads and loads of different parts. And it's really like this particular conversation is inspired by my upcoming birthday. I'm going to be 42 in a couple of weeks' time. And the crazy shit is like, oh, I'm going to be 50 in 8 years' time. Like, how does that even make any sense? So thinking about that, just like super briefly, is enough to kind of light a fire up, because 50 years could be half a lifetime, but whatever it is, turning 42 in a couple of weeks time is enough of a milestone at the moment. So what I do is I teach, in particular by being a role model, which is just who I am unconsciously. I don't even realize I'm doing it. It just happens. And I teach from personal experience, having overcome many personal obstacles and alchemizing them into opportunities. And a lot of the time it is quite, like, I find it quite a fascinating experience. And then to be able to teach it back helps and serves others as well, because the last thing we want in this world is to, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but the last thing that we want is to actually know how to do really well and to actually sincerely be happy and not teach it back to others, right? It's one of these things when you have all these like divine gifts and abilities and arts that just wants to come through you, art and genius that wants to come through you, and you're becoming a master at, a skill or a number of skills or whatever it might be, and you hold that back, it's a disservice to the rest of the world. It's a disservice to the people who could come into your world and who you could help transform. You could help them shift. You could help them to move forward in their world. So I take that responsibility seriously, and I love having these conversations and watching the results, seeing the results from my clients and students, and just seeing them shift and become more of who they really truly are, from a place of I'm good enough exactly as I am, and right here in this present moment I can do and create the life of my dreams by being the creative powerhouse that I actually am, and the force of nature, right? So if this resonates, let me know. Drop a comment below, and I'd love to hear from you. So let me know if this resonates and if this is landing, and if this is a conversation that you want to have as well. Oh, thumbs up as well. That would be awesome, just to help the channel and to invite other people. All right, so I am the author of this book, 101 Plus Ways to Overcome Life's Biggest Obstacles. And this book has been changing lives all over the world. And I'm super excited that it is out there. It was very much part of my journey. So it's me sharing my life story, parts of my life story, in a way to support and help the reader to move through their own obstacles. So some of the chapters, the 10 chapters in here, I take you through how to overcome loneliness and depression, low self-confidence, insecurity, jealousy, stress, social anxiety, abuse as well, working in a job that you hate. There's lots in here. This is jam-packed. Grab a copy at my website, which is leilakhanauthor.com, and you can get a free downloadable version if you want, or you can order a paperback as well. So with this book, like I said, it's transforming lives all over the world, and it was actually gifted to 50 celebrities as well during the Oscar Awards a couple of years ago, and super exciting because there's loads of celebs that have the book. I'm sure they have it on their coffee table. I'm sure they do. So like I said, in this book and with my work, I teach ambitious people how to move through, navigate, stuff that's going on in their world, which might not be great, and they want it to be better, or shift from where they are to where they want to be, even if it's going really well, and they just want to step into the next level identity. And the next level identity is all about who you're becoming along the journey, right? So the example that I often use is, if you think about what it would be like and what it has been like, or what it is like, to have gone from like being single to being in a relationship, to being in a relationship with a partner, then possibly a husband or a wife, and becoming husband and wife, and possibly becoming a father or a mother, grandmother, grandfather, and so on, right? So at each of these kind of steps, there's a different identity, right? So who you are when you're single is very different to who you are in a relationship, to who you are as a mother or a father, and so on and so on and so on. Do you see what I mean? So my work is about helping you guys to navigate and navigate those identity shifts so you can step into who you are here to be, the person who makes money to make, making like a couple of hundred a month to a couple of thousand a month to 5 figures, 6 figures, and so on, right? So here are the parts to reconnect. I want to dive into this content. I want to take you guys through 3 key areas that you want to connect to. So why connection? Now, in the book, when I talk about the chapter on how to overcome loneliness, I talk about how loneliness is a disconnection from oneself. So essentially, when we're lonely, what has happened is you've disconnected from your emotions and from your feeling state and from your own kind of well-being. Of course, I'm speaking from personal experience. So what I found from my own kind of journey through navigating loneliness, in particular after I left home, was disowned, and ended up being single as well. It was one of these things where I was like, okay, there's something missing, right? There's a disconnect. And when I realized that disconnect was about how deeply I was willing to look at myself, things really shifted, and it would take courage to shift into that. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you through 3 key parts to reconnect to, because this world will have you disconnect from your own well-being in many ways, because it's just easier to do that, right? It's easier to look outside of ourselves. It's easier to be distracted by the external. It's easier to be tempted or seduced by what's on the outside and keep up with the Joneses and all of that. You know what I mean? Rather than, oh, okay, what do I actually want within myself? What do I want to connect to within myself? What can I connect to within myself in order to, make more money, to get a better job, to have a friendship group that you actually truly love, to work with clients and customers who are the right fit and that you're soul aligned people, and to be with the partner of your dreams, right? It's all about connecting or reconnecting to those parts of yourself, reconnecting to those to what you're calling in. And like I said, the world can be really easy to disconnect from what's inside. And social media is a great example. Now, obviously, I use social media all the time. I use it near daily for my work and, to connect with my audience and friends and family and so on. But it can become a tool which disconnects and takes you out of what actually matters and what's important. So we're coming back into reconnecting to these 3 parts. So the first part is going to be reconnecting to the divine and your higher self, or God. So I'm going to use God probably quite a lot during this conversation, or this part of the conversation. Switch it up for yourselves. If God doesn't resonate, then maybe it's higher power, maybe it's the universe. That is the kind of language language that you prefer. Whatever it is, obviously switch it up for yourself. The next part that I'm going to be talking about is going to be reconnecting to yourself, to your own body and your human experience. And this part is going to be really key, right? Because I'm going to be talking about circumstances and why circumstances do not matter. The circumstance does not matter for manifestation. Okay, and then we're going to be talking about being in service, or being of service to others, and connecting to that so that you can actually have an impact in this world, so that you can actually leave some kind of positivity in the world, because don't we need it? Don't we need it? So, like I said, if this is resonating, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment for me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them as I go through. I will answer them, or I'll get back to them afterwards as well. All right, so connecting to the divine and to your higher self, to the universe, to God, and so on. And this part is so, so important, because what you're doing is you're connecting to a part of yourself which most people know they have. Most people know that most people know that there's something bigger, something greater, something kind of unexplainable, right? Or inexplicable, that maybe is like a guiding support in their life experience, right? And so when we dive into this, when we look deeper into this, what we understand and come to understand is that this is it's like it's a really powerful kind of almighty sense and feeling within yourself. And so there is so much beauty, there is so much power in the energy that comes through and the support that comes through when we connect to God, to source, to the universe, when we look outside of ourselves and we feel that there is this support. And it's a very deeply, deeply masculine, it's like the ultimate masculine energy. So connecting to the divine is a part that will allow you to dream big, but also gain the strength that you require for your personal power. So let me talk to you about personal power, right? So this is one of my absolute favorite things to support my clients and customers, my students and my world with, right? I love talking about personal power. And personal power is essentially when you activate and awaken these aspects of yourself, which is innate, and it's in you and it's in all of us. We just have to choose to tap into it. So for example, personal power is self-trust, courage, confidence, self-belief in your capabilities, and so on, right? And personal power in particular, I mean, it's this combination of courage and confidence and self-trust and self-belief, knowing that you are capable and knowing that you are absolutely fine, you're going to be okay, and that everything's always working out for you. This personal power, when you can tap into and activate it, your life changes. And it changes because it was always there for you to tap into, but you're showing up in a way that's different from how you've shown up previously, and is different to how most people tend to show up, right? And so when it comes to courage, for example, courage is this inner strength, this inner resilience, this inner desire to step aside and away from fear. Now, when I talk about fear, I often describe fear as being like the sidecar passenger. So you know how you get those like motorbikes or whatever they're called, and they've got a sidecar with them beside it, and the sidecar is, for the passenger. But if you were to imagine that the sidecar is fear and you're the one driving and in control of the motorbike or whatever the whatever the vehicle is actually called, and fear just comes along for the ride, but fear is just there on the side, not doing anything. You're the one who's in control of where you're going, the direction you're moving in, how fast you're going, how slow you're going, what kind of momentum you've got, what kind of energy you've got, what kind of vibe you've got, whether you're enjoying the view, whether you are hating the view, whether you're scared, whether you are excited, whether you're both, which is a great combination to shift through and out of your comfort zone into what I call the edge zone. So your sidecar, the sidecar companion, is fear. And there's nothing that, I've got a couple of videos on my YouTube channel here where I talk about fear, and I talk about how to navigate it. And fear ain't going anywhere. It's inbuilt in all of us. And it's okay as long as you're using your personal power to switch into moving through that fear and allowing it to be there so you can do what you are here to do. If this is landing, if this is resonating, drop a comment for me, let me know, thumbs up as well, just so we can get other people into the channel as well watching the live stream. So Do you know what? You have so much flipping power in you. You have so much flipping power and this personal power, and it is literally life changing. Now, the other piece of personal power that I've not mentioned is intuition, right? So, intuition is your inner guide, it's this inner voice, it's this inner sense that you connect to, and your intuition supports you as you move through life. But it is a body kind of wisdom. Some people hear it, some people feel it. Whichever ways, whichever way works for you is okay, because there's a lot of BS out there about how, this is wrong and that's not correct and blah 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 blah, and you could lose your head if you were to just constantly be on social media in all of these different conversations. So yeah, bringing it back, at the end of the day, however you connect to your body wisdom, whether you hear it, your intuition, whether you sense it, feel it, whether it comes through you, whether you channel it, whatever it is okay, right? So your intuition is part of your personal power. You listening to your personal power, you listening to your intuition and moving through it, moving with it, is the gift. And when you listen to your intuition, you go left when you're going to go right, but you go left because that's the guidance that you had. Or you go down that particular street and you end up meeting your next client. You start talking to someone, you meet your next client, or you meet a friend that you haven't seen for ages, or you get the nudge to, I don't know, travel to a particular country or whatever it might be. Intuition is flipping amazing, but it's very much part of your personal power toolbox, right? Okay, so when we come to having this conversation about connecting to your divine self, connecting to your higher self, connecting to God, it's really important to remember that you're always provided for, right? You're always provided for. There is always more than enough for you, and that you are taken care of and always fully supported. It can feel lonely when you're disconnected from those core beliefs, from those foundational beliefs, because when you're lonely, if you're feeling lonely, then it's more likely that you're thinking, well, no one cares, I'm not provided for, I've got no one to take care of me, there's no one or very few people in my world who actually appreciate me, and so on and so on, right? And so when you remember that innately you are special, and innately you are valued and lovable as well. And there's a paradox with the whole special and thing. So we're all special, and then at the same time we're not, and it's just a paradox that we have to live with. But at the end of the day, it's super important to remember that you are always taken care of, you are always provided for, you are always loved, and you are always valuable. That does not change. Especially as part of your self-worth journey, it's actually just true. Those core beliefs and those core feelings are very true, and no one can take it away from you, right? So when you connect to that deeper, greater, grander part of yourself, life really is incredible, because you have this divine co-creative power that you can connect to and tap into to walk in your personal power, right? So when we're connecting to the divine, when we're connecting to God, to the universe, you're wanting to live in the present moment, because the present moment is all that actually really truly exists. Like right here, right now, this moment is the only one that exists. Now, for those of us who are here live, this is our moment, right? This is the one that exists. Now, for those in the future who are going to see this, the present moment that they are in is the present moment that they are tapping into, whereas for us it's in the future. Well, it'll be in the past, right? And so this whole game with time is really fascinating, but really and truly what matters and what is real is right here, right now, in this present moment. So when you're connecting to source from here, you are able to manifest incredible miracles and magic, and you're able to call in the desires that you actually want. You can step into the space of instant manifestation, and it's next level amazing, right? And so being in the present moment, super key, right here, right now, where are you at? The past serves its purpose. Now, I've always said, like, I don't buy into all of the BS about letting go of the past to the point where you forget about it completely, because, like, for myself, with all the things that I've been through in my world, like, there has been so much wisdom, so much beautiful wisdom that has come through from those experiences where I was lonely and I was depressed and I was going through stress and anxiety, and I've had so many experiences in the past through which I have activated and pulled out all of this personal power to navigate these situations, to manifest more money, or as a result, manifested more money and customers and clients and job opportunities and like travel opportunities, connections with other people. Like, it's just been an incredible life. So I've never looked at my past as in like it's a horrible thing and I need to let it go. What I actually found is I needed to connect to those experiences in order to shift the energy and to move them through into a next iteration, right? And so the past is useful. We don't hang out in the past. We don't live in the past. The past is done. We're here, right here in this present moment. But we can most definitely take the wisdom and the lessons from past experiences and then use those in our present moment to then manifest and call in the future that we actually desire. Does that make sense? If you have any questions, let me know, drop the comments below. And of course, thumbs up if this video is resonating with you guys. All right, so calling in our future, when we connect to our divine self, or when we connect to God, to the universe, to source. I love this, right? So you came here full, right? You did not come here empty. And I've been saying this for years and taking people through this idea or concept, whatever you want to call it. You're abundant already. Your abundance in physical form and who you are already is full, right? You're not empty. Meaning you're full of dreams and desires and capabilities. You're full of creativity. You're so full of personal power that can change your world, right? So courage, trust, momentum, like energy within yourself, right? Self-love, self-worth. You are full of so much more within yourself. You didn't come here empty. And I truly believe that not one of us ever came here empty. But life could have led you on a path to feeling like you're empty. I know for sure I definitely felt empty. There were times when I was just like, there's just nothing in my world that I could appreciate greatly. Although, I've always been grateful for a lot. But there were times when I was really unkind to myself. And when I was unkind to myself, it was like, well, I'm not actually seeing myself for who I really truly am. I'm not actually appreciating the abundance that is already who I am. Does that make sense? And so when it comes to connecting and calling in your future self, you're able to do that by remembering that you already have all the capabilities. You already have the personal power. You're already full of so much more than you realize, regardless of what the world out there wants you to know. You are full of riches, inner riches, spiritual riches, and financial riches. You are full of creativity. You are full of opportunities, right? You are full in the way that you get to move through each and every single day. I mean, for me, what it comes down to is the fact that we're alive and that we have a heartbeat and that we have breath and we have a body, regardless of what it looks like. We are so fucking rich. We are so, 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 so rich because there are so many people that don't have that. And my experiences through life have always been, how am I connecting to this life experience, having not, had some really, really tough experiences where my life could have been over. And so I remember that actually the fact that my heart is beating and that I am able to breathe and that I have a body and that I'm alive and I want to feel alive, I'm as rich as I'll ever be, right? Everything and anything else after that is extra, right? It's just a bonus. So when you can come from this place of abundance, there's magic waiting for you, right? Because you're calling in an incredible future that actually matters to you, right? So call in the future, connect to your future self, call in your higher self, your inner being, whatever you want to call it, that wise part of you that's sort of ahead of the game. And when you can call in and connect to that part of yourself, then it's like, oh, okay, yep, I know where I'm going. I know what I'm calling in. I know what I desire. I know who I'm becoming. I know what I want. I am looking ahead to this part of myself that knows my highest timeline. I'm looking ahead to this part of myself that knows where I want to go and where I'm meant to be going for the highest good and the greatest good of all involved, right? And this is when you step onto the timeline that is meant for you. This is when you start stepping into that space of, I am totally meant to be here. You know, that feeling of right place, right time? It's like, oh shit, this is so, so good. Because you've chosen to connect and reconnect to your inner being, your higher self, your source, that God aspect within yourself, right? Let me know if this is landing for you. I'd love to hear from you. So drop some comments. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel as well, and thumbs up, and we can share this video with others. So we're going to move on to the second part of reconnecting. And that first part, we've talked about the divine, connecting to God, connecting to the universe, feeling safe, feeling provided for, feeling supported and taken care of, and all of that good stuff. And then you connecting to your inner world, so that your life experiences are flipping amazing, right? The second part is connecting to your own body and this human experience. So it's really interesting because a lot of people, some people are connected deeply to their body and they're very, very grounded, and they're not really living in that vision space, that mission space, that purpose, right? They're not really tapping into their imagination. Your imagination is incredible, right? When your imagination is kept clean, as in like you're not consuming too much on social media, you're not taking in other people's drama, and your imagination is just pure and clean. It's fucking incredible. It's like a trip. Not that I would know what that even looks like or means, really. Yeah, when you connect to your body, there's a lot of people that are just connected to their body, they're grounded, but they're not really tapping into their higher self, right? And there are some people who are just connected to their imagination and their, inner world, but they're not grounded, and that's not a good place to be. I've definitely been there, and actually it's not healthy, because we're here having, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and both are super, super valuable. But the trick of the game is to navigate both together, right? So you're moving through your inner world and your external world together. Now, this is where I want to share the human experience part and circumstances, right? So circumstances are like the last piece of you having moved through your imagination, pulling out what you deeply desire, calling that into your world, connecting and connecting and connecting to what lights your heart and soul on fire, to then physically manifesting it in your world, right? And so circumstances are not meant to disconnect you from your power. Circumstances are that final piece of the puzzle, and we have to just navigate them. We have to not just navigate them in that way. What I meant is we have to navigate them with our personal power, and we have to navigate circumstances because there's a far greater spiritual reason why shit happens, right? I'll probably will do, just let me know if you want me to do this actually. I probably will do a conversation around why bad things happen to good people and what that actually means. But if you want me to do that, just drop me a comment and let me know. All right, so let me just come back to this about the circumstances. So circumstances, for example, like if I share some of my personal experiences growing up, and I always say to people, like, these were my experiences, and it's never a judgment on the people that were involved. But I experienced a lot of domestic violence, emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, and sexual abuse as well. I attempted suicide when I was about 12 years old. I didn't want to be alive. And through that experience in that moment, I learned and realized that, okay, fine. And I said to God, if I'm alive, I don't want to just be alive. I want to actually feel alive. And like, I really truly want to feel alive, and I want to know and learn how to heal myself and my own inner emotional pain, so that I can then go and help others to heal their own inner emotional pain, which is exactly what I do now, right? And it's what I've done for the past 20 or 30 years. It's flipping crazy to think that I'm going to be 42 in a couple of weeks' time. It's just mad. But that particular circumstance was not the circumstance to take me out of my power. It was a circumstance and situation that was meant to activate me into my power. And this is what I want to share with you guys, right? At the end of the day, whatever the circumstances that you are navigating or moving through or going through, it is there to kind of nudge you into your personal power. If you go back, if you're watching the replay, go back to the beginning where I talk about personal power being courage, self-trust, confidence, right? Self-belief, knowing that you are capable and knowing that you are a co-creator, and that whatever you actually desire, you can call into your world. So if you want more courage, ask for more courage. If you want more faith, ask for more faith. If you want more inner strength and resilience, ask for more inner strength and resilience from within, from your inner being, from your heart and soul. And guess what is going to manifest from within you into your external world? All of those things that make up your personal power, that then show you how to navigate whatever the circumstances that you are going through, in particular through your intuition, right? And so circumstances, and whatever the circumstances look like, you can change them and transform them within a second, literally just like that. You can change a circumstance, you can transform a situation just like that, because of your focus, because of your attention, because of your intention, right? It's like I was saying earlier on, you are so flipping powerful. I know, reminders are really good, and oftentimes we've forgotten. This amnesia is just there, it's just part of the air. Okay, so let me talk to you guys super briefly about these obstacles as well, right? So in the book, you can get a free download off my website as well, which is leilakhanauthor.com, where you can get the paperback copy. So I talk about obstacles. Now, when I wrote the book in 2012, 2013, I was no longer thinking in terms of obstacles. I never saw obstacles as being obstacles. I had moved through all of that to see them as opportunities. But it was really interesting choosing a book title, because I was like, okay, right, obstacles is what the collective get, and that's like common language and common jargon, you could say. But in the introduction, I talk about how obstacles are actually opportunities, and they are the playground for you to heal your light, to heal, to bring light to the darkness, whatever that may be, whatever that may look like. But the obstacles are there for you to see and recognize that you can flip, you can alchemize, you can shift whatever seems like a block, whatever seems like, okay, I have nowhere else to go. This is an obstacle. This is a challenge. This is something that I don't know how to move through. Switch that into, actually, you know what? Maybe the perspective I need to look at is, oh, this is an opportunity, right? Because when it's an opportunity, then you've got a whole new world opening up to you, the whole new world of infinite possibilities, right? And infinite possibilities open up because they are asked for by you. And you've got to call that in. You've got to be, a lot of people are, like, the fear kind of becomes bigger than it actually is, and so they no longer see infinite possibilities. Remember when you were a kid, or if you are still a young person, because I've got a lot of students, a lot of teenagers that I've worked with, who follow my stuff. But remember when we were kids, right? We would just play in this magical world and be like, oh, I wonder if this happens. I wonder if that happens. Oh my gosh, what if we do this and we go there and we explore this? And maybe that was just me. I don't know. But nothing was impossible. You know what I mean? Nothing was impossible. There was this magic to playing in the field of infinite possibilities as a kid, because as a child, as a young person, anything is available to you as you get older, right? And like I said, I'm going to be 42 in a couple of weeks' time. It's still available now. It doesn't change. But when what happens to a lot of people, a lot of um, adults, is they get caught up in the stress and the anxiety and the circumstances. And so instead of seeing the circumstance as an open door, as a portal of this opportunity, of these, you know, new doors that could open up, simply by asking, most people get caught up in the circumstance, like, oh shit, how bad is this? Oh God, look at what I've done. Oh, this is so bad. I feel so guilty. I feel so ashamed. And like I said from the beginning, I'm a role model unconsciously. It just is what it is. And so I learn, and I've been in those situations, and I've had to navigate and move through that. And so what you're wanting to do is to remind yourself that every single obstacle, no matter what it is just an opportunity. Are you willing to open the door so that you can have more money, find the job that you actually want to work in, find new opportunities, connect with new people who could potentially be really good friends, connect to the love of your life, right? Somebody really special, somebody that you want to spend your life with, whatever it might be. Whatever it is, circumstances, this is the point. I know I've been going on about it, and I probably will continue to go on about it as well. The point being, circumstances are not meant to disconnect you from your power. They are meant to activate you into your personal power. And obstacles are just a portal to new opportunities, because once that door opens into infinite possibilities, your world would be like, what the heck just happened, right? What the heck? And this is then when I start going into like magic and miracles and things just happening out of the blue. Not just money falling out of the blue, but people coming into your world are like, whoa, how did this happen? And you know, so much. But I can talk about that in another video. So just let me know if that is something that you'd love to hear from me about. If you have any questions, we've got loads of people here. So if you have any questions, drop them for me in the comments box. And like and subscribe as well, and share this with anybody that you think would find it really useful. Right, let's go into this last part, which is all about connecting to being of service, and connecting to your audience, connecting to your brand, connecting to your clients and your work, and whatever else it is that is outside of God, the universe, the divine, you, and you connecting to your body and spirit, your mind, body and spirit, and then connecting to other people, right? So I truly believe that we are all here to help each other, to support each other, to kind of be friends along the way. So I'm a free spirit. I always have been. I travel a lot. I move around a lot. And I absolutely love it. And I talk to a lot of people most weeks, most days. And what I found across, you know, through my life's journey is that people really are there to help. It's what we are meant to do, but we're never meant to do it at the expense of our own kind of our own standards or our own boundaries or our own well-being. So it's easy to, you know, like growing up, it was always like help other people, do other things, you know, like support them, give everything you've got. And I burnt out, and I just got to the point where I was like, I can't do anything for anybody else. Like when I say I burnt out, actually, it was far worse than that. I then got to the point where I was like, I can't do anything for anybody, right? Because a lot of the language that I was around was, you're wrong, you're not doing this right, you know, and other things as well. And it was enlightening when I realized that actually, if I'm not taking care of myself, then I really can't take care of other people, right? If this resonates, let me know. If this connects as well, if this is something you've experienced or something you used to experience, let me know, right? Being of service means that we are there to support and help others. And it's actually a great thing, because it means that we are connecting to the people that we are here to connect with. And we're here to self-actualize. We're here to tap into our own personal power. with the steps that I've guided you through in today's masterclass. And then we're here to help others along the way. So going back to that promise that I made when I was 12 years old, and I said to God, okay, fine, I'm alive. I don't want to just be alive. I actually want to feel alive. Like, I want to feel my emotions. I want to feel what it feels like to be exhilarated, to be ecstatic, to be so happy, so joyful, and at the same time to experience the other side, the melancholy, the sadness, the grief, the anger, because that's part of being human, right? And so my promise was, if you can help me to heal, I will help others to heal and move through their process as well. And so this is where this third aspect comes in, of connecting to being of service. It's how can we give back? How can we be a role model to others? How can we support those who are really in need when somebody is unable to support themselves? Now, I'm going to mention this as well because this has just popped into my mind. You can't help other people get rich if you are not, like, I'm talking about financially rich, if you are not there yourself. To be on the journey towards millions, towards riches, is fucking beautiful. And it is to be appreciated. It is to be respected. It is to be valued. It's not to be lessened in any way. If you are on your journey to, becoming a millionaire, to having a 6-figure, 7-figure, 5-figure business, whatever it is, if you are moving through promotions in work and you're just like moving up super, super quickly, if you're looking, you're feeling within yourself that you're here to be rich financially, being on the journey is what this is all about, right? It's never actually about the money. It's about who you become on the way to the money, right? It's about who you become. All of this is about who you become. And that's why we're talking about personal power here today, because you tapping into your personal power is the very thing that is going to manifest and call in those exact things and desires that you have. But along the way, what you want to do when it comes to being of service is you want to remember that if you are feeling depleted in any way or shape or form, like emotionally or mentally, physically, there's only so much that you can give. You could push yourself to give more. It's definitely something that I did, but eventually you deplete yourself, right? So you want to come back into this space of, actually, do you know what? I'm taking care of myself, and so I'm able to take care of others. Whatever that might look like. That might look like, helping an older lady or a man across the road, helping a kid pick up something that they've dropped, helping a mother or a father with the pushchair on the bus. It's just some of the examples that I can think of that I've done. But whatever it is, a phone call, a message, a word of affirmation or support can make the biggest difference and go a super long way. All right, so through your authenticity and your truth, you are here to connect with your soul-aligned customers and your soul-aligned clients. Not everyone is for us. Not everyone is for not everyone is for you, and that's okay. Not everyone's going to get you, and that's okay. I definitely have that for sure in my world, and I actually really love it, because what it means is, like, people who are not for me, they'll just filter themselves away out of my world, and that's totally cool. It just means I don't have to do it, and if I have to do it, I have to do it. But the truth of it is that we have like soul tribes. We're not here energetic soul tribes. We're not here to be, to be there for everybody, and that's okay. But when you're connected to who you truly are, when you are connected to your personal power, when you're connected to your intuition, to your personality, to your characteristics, to your own dreams and your own desires, when you're connected to what you are manifesting, when you're connected to your mission and your values and your purpose, all of that good stuff, you are going to attract the kind of people who get you. And that's what this comes down to, right? This comes down to, this whole masterclass is about you connecting to who you are, so that life can respond to you and bring to you more of who you are to support you in your soul growth. Do you know what I mean? And so you're a badass creatrix, badass co-creator by nature, a force of nature, but you have to be willing to let yourself be there and go there, right? You have skills, divine abilities, talents, purpose and vision and mission to experience. And it comes when you choose to connect to yourself. And from there, you will naturally call in the people who are meant to be in your world. So I see a lot of people, kind of being in relationships that they're really, truly unhappy in. Of course, I've been there myself as well. A lot of people will go through relationships that are not like lifting them up, right? They're not supportive, they're not encouraging. They might just be there and that's okay, but there's very little more. And when it comes to you choosing to focus on what really matters to you, you then start calling in the relationships that will then matter to you as you grow together. There's so much more to this. There's so much like deeper layers to all of this. But yeah, I wanted to take you guys through this journey of reconnecting to yourself. No matter what you are going through, no matter what you've experienced, you always have it within you to transform any situation, circumstance by you simply tapping into your power. And from there, by you taking the actions. And let's talk about taking action, because without action, all of this is nothing, right? Now, I talk about inner action and outer action, or external action. So your inner action is choosing to sit down and to meditate or to self-reflect or to journal. I'm just looking at all my journals on the side. There's like a crazy amount of journals that I get through. You're connecting to yourself. And then that's inner action. And it's actually the most important action that there is. And this is why we say you don't need to do anything physically, because it's all within. Then what happens, the magic part is that you do have a part to play by taking your own physical actions. Now, when they're guided by your intuition, it's fucking magic. It's amazing. It's that whole thing of like, oh, make that phone call. Oh, send that DM. Oh, share this in a post. Oh, say this in a video. Oh, go and say hi to that person, or whatever it might be. Your soul will always guide you. Your soul always knows the way, because it's your higher self. It's your greater version. But yeah, it's the actions that are really key, because without action, these thoughts and these desires are not going to come to fruition. So your part is always to connect to your body, to move, to create this momentum, to keep moving forward. And then from there, life will respond to your actions, right? So if you had, like, say for example, if there was like a job interview that you wanted to go for, or there was a client you wanted to sign up, and that's your end desire, and along the way, you know that there are steps you've got to take, like, we'll go with the job one. So write out a CV, or update your CV, email your CV, fill out application form, respond to a letter for interview, prepare for the interview, show up at interview, and so on, right? You've got your steps chunked down. If you were not to do step 2 or step 4, you'll probably still, somehow the universe will course correct you, but somehow or another, if you didn't do all of those steps, then the universe is responding to your non-movement, right? Because the momentum is in step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it doesn't have to be logical, by the way. It doesn't have, I don't do many things logically. But I still get a lot of shit done, a lot of really good stuff done. And so what you're wanting to do is just to remember that taking action is your part, and trust that life and the universe and God and the divine and your higher self and your soul, all of that good stuff, is also responding to the actions you are taking or not taking. So if you're not taking actions, there's nothing for it to respond to. Now, when you think about it, that just sounds logical, right? It just sounds logical. So move. Take the steps you need to take in order to create the shifts in your world that you need to shift. I take on, this is me talking to myself as much as I'm speaking to you guys here, and continue reminding myself as well. We've all got work to do, but it doesn't have to be hard work. It can be fun and joyful and exciting and exactly what you want it to be. All right, so I would love to hear from you in the comments box. Let me know what landed for you, what resonated, what did you connect to, what did you feel from this masterclass as well, and let me know if there are any actions that you can take. There's a lot there. Now, this is how you know that I'm a coach naturally as well, because I just come up with question after question. I'm curious. I'm always curious. I always love the conversations. So I'm going to drop a couple of offers as well that I have at the moment. If you head on over to my website, leilakhanauthor.com, sign up for my newsletter from there. There's some proper insane offers that are going to be coming up that I'm going to be sharing this weekend. One of them is 20 slots, which are going to be free for my Soul Boss Academy, which is my monthly membership. We dive deep into a lot of the things that we've talked about here and so much more. And I absolutely love the Soul Boss Academy. It's like my favorite place on the internet in my little world. So I'm going to have 20 spaces for free to fill, and after that there's going to be some really cool special offers for members of my Soul Boss Academy. I'm going to be running a special offer on the paperback copies as well, where it's buy one get one free for a ridiculous price. So that is also going to be in my newsletter. And I have some really cool private coaching offers. Again, I'm going to be putting them in my newsletter. So head on over to my website to sign up. We're doing a lot of amazing things. And I'm really, truly celebrating the fact that, I'm going to be 42 in a couple of weeks' time, and I'm flipping excited. Life is so beautiful for me at the moment, and it's been a long, hard slog to get to this point. And it's now time for me to do what I was talking about in number 3, is to connect to being of deeper service and helping you guys and supporting you guys and receiving that back and so on. So any questions, like I said, drop me a message. With that being said, have an amazing morning, evening, afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world. And remember that you are the hero that you have been looking for. The power is within you. You just have to be willing to ask for it, to receive it, and to create the life of your dreams. Mwah! Have an amazing one, and I will catch you guys really soon. Bye.